Hello everyone, I tried to film this before, but my mic wasn't on. I have no intro plan, so I'm just going to dive into a little history lesson about macarons because that's what we're making today. And then we're going to make them with all-purpose flour because I know people allergic to almonds, and normally they use almond flour, but I'm not. Okay, so according to my sources, the origins of the macaron begin in Italy. In the 16th century, the macaron is believed to have originated in Italy. It was brought to France by Catherine de Medici, Italian pastry chefs when she married King Henry II in 1533. These early macarons were a simple almond meringue cookie, crisp on the outside, soft on the inside. I don't want to do this anymore. And the 17th and 19th century is when the French decided to develop it. So French monasteries and pastry shops adopted the macaron, with different regions developing their own styles. The most famous early version came from the Carmelite nuns in Nancy, known as Macarons de Nancy. The Parisian macaron, which arrived in the 20th century. The modern macaron as we know it, two almond meringue cookies with a flavored filling, was created by Pierre de Fontaine of Lauderhay in the early 20th century. This version became a global sensation, featuring flavors like raspberry, chocolate, pistachio, and salted caramel. This was a great history lesson. The first thing you're going to want to get is 2 room temperature eggs. 2. And room temperature. Just set them out like a few hours before. You'll be fine. And you're also going to want to get like 2 bowls. Don't get like 2 bowls. Get 2 bowls. Oh? 1 for the egg, 1 for the yolk, 1 for the white segregation. And essentially we're going to use the yolk later when we do the cream. But for now we need the egg whites to make a meringue. How I separate my egg and yolk, white and yolk are a little bit different. So normally they'll tell you get a spoon or something. Well, that's what I'm going to do. But normally they tell you get a spoon or something. You can also use a water bottle, empty it out, squeeze it, pick up the yolk, move it. So right here, which I would have used a clear bowl if I thought for 2 seconds, 2 eggs, and then you're going to take out the yolk and put it into here. And to do this, like I said, spoon, you're going to take it, go in, kind of cut off the yolk, the yolk from the white. You'll see a little bit come up. You just kind of want to give it some jiggle. You can slide it on the edge of the bowl to kind of cut it. Eventually it'll all fall off. And then just take your yolk and move it. So normally at this point you take your egg yolks and you would cover them with saran wrap. I don't have saran wrap somehow. Is it raining? Oh, it's raining bad. Okay. Actually, we'll take this time to do a quick little lesson. If you make macarons while it's raining, do not put them near a window. The humidity will kill them and they will collapse. They will not work. Just as a heads up if anyone does this. So when I do mine, they're going to go over here, which they were going to go over here anyway for demonstrative purposes. They're going to go over there. Alright, I have my egg yolks in the bag in the cup, and I just sealed it. I pushed it down on the sides and sealed it. Just put this somewhere where you know why. I feel like this is picking up a lot. Put this somewhere where you know where it is. You're gonna need it later, and it's for the cream later, for the filling. It is actually raining quite heavily outside, but we're gonna continue on with this whole thing. Take your egg whites, and this is kind of where things will break off. Don't look in there. Things will break off depending on what you have in your kitchen. I have one of these, so I'm going to use it. You can use pretty much whatever you have. If you have any sort of electric mixer beater that you break out only at Thanksgiving or something, use that. I have that. I don't have a beater for some reason. We threw it away. I don't know why. I'm going to use that. Capiche? Filming this is going to be a little bit awkward because I don't have, like, an island where I can set up to explain this to you. So I have to film it like an outward angle. So you have your egg whites. So track this purple one. This actually might be better than glass. Track the purple one. Ooh, that almost went everywhere. Put this, ooh, that was loud, in your mixer or whatever bowl you're using. Or you could just put them in there to separate it. Use less dishes. I don't care what you do. I'm not you. And then all you're going to do is just put the top down or whatever you're using. ASMR. And then I'm going to actually turn the mic off for this. Actually, I'll just mute it later. But I will clip it so it's a little bit better. Okay. Oh, I mean, this is my first video. I don't know how this works. And you're basically just gonna sit here and put it on high. Okay. Normally I would do this while this is going, but I can't today. So what you're gonna need to dish out is a 1/4 cup of sugar, but take a teaspoon out of it. It just makes it more, hello? It makes it better. No. Okay, if you don't, it makes it more grainy and it just tastes a little bit sandy, I guess. I don't know. And if you do too much sugar, it will alter the way your batter sets and cooks, so don't do it. The sugar into a clear glass. And then now I'm going to run this to make I'll show you when we get there to add the sugar for the first time, and then kind of go from there. Okay, so right now I have the mixer raised, and then you're just going to want to take some of your sugar, which I have right here, and then just add a little bit of it at a time, and eventually it will start fluffing up and incorporating better. My towel fell down. I'll pick it up in a second. So eventually you're going to have to scrape the sides, just do it. You have to do it anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm about halfway through my sugar. You're going to stop when you get to stiff peaks, which basically means it can support its own weight. If I raise this up, which I can't do one-handed, but if I take this off and I flip the whisk up, it should be able to support itself. At that point, you should be done, but I'll tell you what mine looks like when I'm done. Alright, actually I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little thing here. So, hello? Okay. So if I mix this up like that, and I bring it up, you can kind of see it falls off. Stiff peaks won't do that. And when I flip it like that, it's not going to collapse on itself. It's going to be able to support its own weight. So this is an example of one that's almost there. You can see it can kind of support its weight. It's still kind of flat, and if you move it around too much, it will fall off. But after some mixing for a little bit of time, you end up with something like this, which it's drooping over, yes, but it can support its own weight. It's not falling off, it's not falling down. Good to go. So about now is also when you want to add your food coloring. You don't have to add food coloring if you don't like it, don't want it, whatever. I'm making mine yellow because I'm going to make this a lemon batch. You don't have to add the lemon if you don't want to. I'm going to tell you when I add the lemon, how I add the lemon, when I do it, but you don't have to do it at all. It's just, I want these to be lemon flavored, so I'm going to make them lemon flavored. But if you don't want lemon macarons, you don't have to make lemon macarons. Alright, so here I have my meringue. I dyed it yellow, like I said before. As you can see, hold it upside down, nothing's falling out. Blizzard test, it wins. Why am I so out of frame? It wins, you're good. And then, now we move on to, before anyone asks, I am rinsing the spoon a lot. I have really bad habits of not closing cabinets. So I'm going to get a different bowl so it'll be easier to see. And I'm going to transfer our meringue to that bowl so it'll be easier to see. Because I just realized everything I'm doing is not in a see-through bowl and it's really hard. At this point, you're done with your mixer, so you can put it away. Now we're working with the countertop only. You shouldn't need a mixer. I don't think you need a mixer. I didn't use a mixer. I don't think. This is a ballsy first recipe, by the way. So, ballsy. Alright, so at this point, you should have one bowl of your meringue. In this bowl, I have sifted together powdered sugar and flour. It's 1 cup powdered sugar and 1/2 cup plus a tablespoon of flour. I figured out the reason these are all weird, which when I was testing never came about for some reason. It's because they're all translated from French or Italian, I don't know. And when they come over, they're weird measurements. So I think it's over there, it's milliliters and grams and stuff. I don't have a scale. I should get one. Actually, I think I do have one. I don't know where it is, so we're just gonna go with this. Right, this weird outward angle is back, but we have powdered sugar flour, and you're going to add it to your meringue. And mix. And mix. And mix. And mix. Now also when I added the lemon zest, in case you're making lemon ones with me. Otherwise, ignore. Now you'll notice that your stuff is a little thick. It's rough. It looks kind of like thin-ish cookie dough. So now what you're going to do is you're going to do a technique. Let me use this. I guys hope this is better. You're going to want to push it and spread it around your bowl. This will also help get any loose pieces of flour, powdered sugar, or anything that you may have put out, didn't realize it. And you'll spread it around. See, fully coated. Also recommend switching to a spatula at this point to help mix it better. And then you'll want to gather it all in the center. And just after the first pass, you can actually see it's a little bit thinner. Just do that a couple of times. I think I'm doing it, when I did my test bakes, 3 to 4 work best. So I would just recommend doing it about 3 to 4 times. And there we go. It should still be pipeable. It's very important that it's pipeable because we're going to have to pipe it. Alright, so now you're just gonna want to prep a cookie sheet. Mine is just a piece of parchment paper. And then I have a silicone tray that has these little circles underneath it to make it more even when you do them. You don't have to do it. I would recommend printing out one. You can print out a template, find one online, and print it out. It's not a piping bag because I have one. And then I have this piping tip end that I'm just going to drop in. Yeah, it worked. I'm just going to drop in, and then you want to get yourself a cup. Pop that in your cup. And then clip it off. Hold it over your cup. Alright, I now have a prepared piping bag, and then I have the tip. There's a little bit coming out. That's what she said. And then you're just gonna take it over there and pipe it. Howdy divas, it's me again. So at this point, it should have been an hour or so. I don't care. I'm not counting. I hope you did your dishes, because we've used a lot of them so far. Do your dishes. But now we have our 2 trays, and at this point, you should be able, as I'm about to do right here, clip this here. You should be able to lift this up, and slide your template out, because your template is not oven safe. Alright, so now your template's out. But how are you going to cook them? You're going to preheat your oven to 285, give or take. Hello? What is beeping? Not my problem. 285, cook 1 tray at a time, because depending on where you are, where you live, different things. These are going to cook differently at different times. Typically it's about 12 to 14 minutes. Different times, whatever. 1 tray at a time. Cook the tray that looks worse. I'm not saying this one looks bad, but I don't have as many to mess up. So this one's going to go in first, and then that one's going to go in. What is beeping? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. But, yeah. So, 1 tray at a time. Preheat your oven. On to the next step. Oven. Be careful while doing this. I'm not in the mood for I'm not in the mood for a lawsuit. I don't know, use common sense for 2 seconds. And it's literally 12 to 14 minutes. So don't wait too long. Otherwise they will burn. And you'll know when they're burned. But pay attention to them. Pretend they're children. But more important. And while all this is happening, go do your Duolingo lesson. French or the Trench, or Spanish or Vanish, whichever one you're taking, go do it! Could y'all imagine how different the Hunger Games would have ended if Snow decided to kill Effie and Cinna? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So I'm trying to hold this so they don't fall off, but you can still see them. They poofed out a little bit more than usual, which I don't think is a problem. They look fine. I put the other tray in while I'm recording this, but essentially, this is what you'll end up with. Also, it's very important that you let these cool at room temperature, so grab your pot holder, or whatever. These things. Throw it on your counter, grab your tray again, use oven mitts, don't get 3rd degree burns, please. Once again, not moved for a lawsuit. And set them aside. They're over there. Gorgeous. And the other ones, you can't see. They're in the oven. And then we'll pull them out. And we'll make the filling. As proof that I did it. There. I don't know why the glare is so bad. There's the proof that I did my Duolingo lesson. just so everyone knows why macarons are so tricky. These are what I just pulled out of the oven, in case you're wondering. And if you don't know, the first batch we pulled out are these. So I'm still going to make those into macarons, but I'm going to focus on these 6. But that is just kind of like a good example. A good example about how these are from the exact same batch. I have recorded myself making both of them in the same batch, so that it's nothing different. So that's just, it goes to show how tricky and weird these things are to make. So, you know, be careful. Pay attention. So normally, after I fail, I would give up and stop recording. But I still have 6 good ones. And technically, the other ones are still edible. I did not burn them. I did not, like, intentionally screw them up. They're still edible. I'm still going to make them look somewhat cute. Maybe do some, I don't know. Grab a pot. We're going to make our filling for both of them. But, yeah, make our filling. Alright, now we're going to make our mousseline cream. So, take your 2 egg yolks from earlier, and you're going to throw them into a pan. Was that so hard? You did it. Congratulations. Yeah, you're not done. Don't worry. You're not done yet. Best part. You have a true quarter cup, so no teaspoons or tablespoons taken out. Hello. It is a true quarter cup. You're putting it into your pan. Remember, this is not on yet. And you're just going to throw your sugar in. You did it. And then, the fun part. You're going to grab a whisk. And you're going to whisk. You're going to take your pan. And mix until you get something like this. It's literally just basically creaming together your egg yolks. Your egg yolks and sugar, which I'm pretty sure the mic picked up all that, but you know. Okay, so I actually find this next step really annoying because it's ridiculous. It's 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, which is fine, mixed with 200 milliliters of milk. And I don't measure in milliliters, and I'm not doing dimensional analysis right. I'm not doing dimensional analysis right now to figure out how to put that into cups. So I did the next best thing and Googled it, and it's about 3/4 and like a tablespoon. So that's the measurement I'm doing. If it doesn't work, blame the imperial system, because it's their fault to not use milliliters, and everything's in cups. Anyway, I guess I can go ahead and, since I'm already recording, what you're gonna do. So, once you basically made milk oobleck, which by the way, it is disgusting. Let me throw this away. It is disgusting to like mix because it literally makes milk oobleck, and it's nasty. But once you mix it, everything dissolves, and you're gonna take your milk oobleck and dump it into your egg mixture. And whisk. And after a while, it'll turn out nice and whisked. Whisk? What is the past tense of whisk? Now we're in for it. Basically, turn your egg, milk, oobleck, wait, what? Whatever. Turn it onto medium heat. As you can see, I have it on medium heat right here. I still have my Macaron Shells over there cooling. And basically, ow. You have to sit here and stir this to make sure it doesn't stick for as long as it takes. Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm giving up. Okay, so by the way, I was wrong. You don't have to stir it constantly. You just keep an eye on it, stir it frequently. But my things of my shells have cooled. So I don't know what happened. I really don't. It must be the parchment paper that I used, because I used 2 different types. It's the only difference. This is the second batch, and they don't even come off, versus the first batch comes off one piece, good to go. I don't know what happened. I did nothing different. Still tastes good though. Alright, this pan that I had that didn't work that well is scrapped. I can't even get them off the parchment. Flipped it over, tried peeling them off. It didn't work. So I physically just can't get it off of the parchment, so I had to throw it away. And once it starts thickening up, reduce it to a low heat. A low heat, and just keep stirring it while it cools down. Okay, I just realized I did this without recording. But throw a tablespoon of butter in here, and then take it off the heat. And then mix it up real good until all the butter melts. And after some stirring, you should get something that looks kind of like a custard. Falls off the spoon, and we move on to the next step. So the next step needs more saran wrap. So all I did was cut a plastic bag in half, and then what you're going to do is you're going to want to take it and cover it. But you really do need to, and I cannot stress this enough, push it in so everything touches your filling, and then let it cool to room temperature. There's a lot of cooling, but the thing is you can't flash cool it in a fridge, and it sucks, but you can't. So you have to let everything kind of chill at its own pace. Okay guys, since we're waiting for everything to cool, we're gonna have a thought-provoking minute. What do y'all think was like happened to the dude who had to pee first? Like, what do you think he felt? I already did the Hunger Games thing earlier. What? I have nothing else to do, guys. What do I do? I'm out of ideas here. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, dude. Where'd you go? Matthew, where'd you go? Alright guys, I'm gonna stay here and finish the recipe. We gotta wait for all this to cool though. Alright, once your filling thing over there starts and you're getting fully cooled, you're gonna get half a cup of butter, which is like a stick. You're gonna soften it, put it in a bowl, and whisk. I hope that's what everyone thought it was going to be. Alright, next thing you're gonna do. What? My bad. Howdy. I mean, for the record, I never told him he could do it, but you know, people come, people go. He'll get over it. Alright. Oh, wow. Now, once your stuff is mostly cooled, doesn't have to be like 100% room temperature, just take it and add it to your whipped butter that the other dude made. I don't know his name. Whatever. So, I have added a little bit of lemon zest in here, which is why mine's yellow, and a little bit of lemon juice, which is also why mine's yellow. But now you're just going to whisk it until it's fluffy. And after a while of mixing, you get this, which is pretty sturdy, fluffy. This is not under any means like an entirely stable buttercream or something. So I would not use a decorated cake, which, by the way, why are you watching this if you're decorating a cake? But, you know, it'll be good for what we need to use it for. Now, can you guess what we're going to get? A pastry bag. Guys, same jig as before. Cup. I have the piping thing in there. This time we have a fancy little blue raspberry cup. Put the piping bag in there. And then you're going to take this and put it in there and pipe it. And only because it's happened to me like once or twice. First of all, taste this before you put it anywhere. Do not waste bags, macarons, whatever. Do not, just taste it. And some troubleshooting things. Number one, if it's too buttery or has too much of a butter texture, powdered sugar helps. It won't be exactly how it's supposed to be. It'll be more of a buttercream, but it will fix it to work. And it's just if you need it in a pinch. Other ways, I don't really entirely know how, like, what could go wrong. Comment or something if it goes wrong. I don't know, and I'll see what I can do. But just the main thing is too much butter. If you have too much butter, powdered sugar will mostly always. I have in a pastry bag, I have the cream, and I have a star tip, if you can see. And I bought the Macaron Shells back, and we're going to decorate. Alright, so all I'm doing is I use the star tip, piped around, filled in the center, take the other shell, and place it nicely on top. And there you go. And you're going to keep doing that with all of them. Remember, for every 2 shells, you make 1 macaron. Alright, so I finished all those. I'm going to plate them in a second. If you have leftover stuff, what is this called? Leftover cream. Google was no help, by the way. I asked how to say macaron, and it said it's pronounced macaron. Girl, we get that part. But basically, you could do whatever with this. Put it in the fridge. Google what you can do with it. Called like mousseline cream or something. I'm pretty sure there's something. Alright, I'm now presenting my sad attempt at plating, but I'll post better pics on Instagram. I'll link it below somewhere. We're done. So, go do your dishes, but basically that's how you make a macaron. Macaron? I don't know. I feel like I've said it 97 different ways this video. So, we're just gonna go with whatever one of the one I said is correct. Somebody wants to correct me, have fun. Do your dishes, like I said. Go check out the Instagram. It's new. There's like 2 followers, so if you're watching this video, go check out the Instagram. And that is all. Good night. I'm tired. I don't know if there's an outro. It depends on what happens tomorrow. Peace.